Hello, everybody. I am not even sure if you're seeing this because, oh my lord, the Mercury retrograde is going to be wreaking havoc on all of our technology, or at least mine anyway, because this whole last preview, pre-shade, has been all about stuff not working. So all of the links that I sent everybody aren't working. So I had to do through StreamYard because I am not quite sure how to get this to work. But I would love for you guys to go ahead and post any questions. I am going to, let's see, I am going to, I have one from David already here. And I am not even sure if if I'll be able to see any comments from you guys. This is really, really rough. And I'm so sorry. New to this whole thing, had it all set up, and now it's not working as well as I would like, or I would hope to do. So, oh, there I am. Here we are. I can see myself. I can see the live chat. I wish, can I sit? Is there a way to link this? Oh, wait, I probably can. There we go. I'm going to put a link in a quick email to everybody. And sorry, my dog is pacing around. She can't go outside on her own because she keeps digging up the yard. But I will quickly do this so that I can send a note to everyone. And I apologize for all of this craziness. But right now, it should be sending everybody who is already in my Substack a note saying, hey, come join us live. And I am just going to dash a quick note to everybody else. I'm going to post it on Facebook. That way, most everybody will see it. Or at least I hope so. Technical snafu. Here is the link to today's Halloween live stream. Come join me. At highlight. And it says I can only use add highlight three times this week. I haven't even been on Facebook really since 2 weeks ago, so I don't know why it's doing that either. This Mercury retrograde is just crazy, and it's not even starting till the 9th of November, y'all. Anyway, so I am hoping I have 7. Oh, there are 7 of you. There you guys are. Oh my gosh. Thank you. I'm so glad. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? I can't, let's see. I can't, I'm looking this way because my computer is over here. So let's see. We have, oh, Ara, Kathy. Oh my God. Girl, right? Mercury retrograde at its finest. I can't even. Shauna. Hey, Shauna. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I am hoping that everyone's here. David's here. Hi, David. Desiree. Everybody's finding me. Yay. Okay. This is a lesson learned. So for, I'm going to make an announcement later about it. But for next week's New Year's reading for the collective that I'm doing on Substack, literally on the 6th. So it's still before retrograde sets in hard and heavy, but I will be setting it up through StreamYard just because it's a lot easier. And then using my laptop over here on the side to see everyone's questions. So I am loving that you guys are seeing me. I want to share some info with you because I did jot down some energy reading thoughts for everyone before we even get started. Just so this is a message for everybody. But before we do that, I want to kind of just run down. I think, David, you posted a question on a different space. So I can't, I saw it real quick, but then I'm over here. So if you could reiterate that question, that'd be great. But let's see. So first of all, I want to wish everyone a happy Halloween, or see it over here. This is my pumpkin and my little hat and my basket full of candy. I'm all set for my trick-or-treaters. Our front porch has got skeletons and lights and all the fun Halloween stuff. And I am so So grateful that you guys are here. And I want to take a collective deep breath just for me to calm me down and to balance my energy. And then I will share a bunch of stuff with you. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth, and maybe closing your eyes. Just taking a moment, even with the pacing dog, um, to just take a moment and bring ourselves here, letting go of anything in the past and breathing in, exhaling, letting go of any worry about the future, inhaling again and exhaling and bringing ourselves, maybe putting hands on heart center, bringing ourselves into the present moment so we can be present here for each other and for this really lovely Samhain, the thinning of the veil. Yes. When you're ready, come on back with me. Okay, so happy Halloween. Blessed Samhain to those who celebrate. And welcome to the eighth annual. Can you believe? 8 years. Oh my gosh, I need to write a Substack post on that alone. Welcome to the 8th annual Lunchtime card pulls for everybody on Halloween. I love this. This is one of my favorite things I get to do all year long. So I'm excited about it. And just a quick note, if you're not already subscribed to my Substack channel, or I guess blog, I don't even know what to call it, my little space there on Substack, you can do so for free. You can do an upgrade to a paid subscription to get, I guess, previews, quick looks or whatever, like be the first people to know all the things. And anyway, so I would love for you to join that community if that's a thing. So just a quick bunch of things. So if you're live with me right now, because this is being recorded, so if you're live with me, go ahead and start popping your questions into the chat so that we're ready to go once I get through all of this. If you are watching the replay on YouTube and you're not here because I don't do these on YouTube anymore, but I will be posting the replays on YouTube. Know that I can't take questions because obviously I'm not live anymore, but know that whatever messages come through here, if you are seeing this replay on Substack or on YouTube, that's a call that the messages are for you too. And if you're watching live with me and you hear something for somebody else that resonates, that means that's for you too as well. And I think, Bella, you are such a good girl. So good. Chilling. She did her meditation too. So hopefully she'll stay there. And if you, like I said, if you hear the whining border collie or the click, click, click of her feet, she's having some stressful times. It's been real rainy and hasn't been able to go outside and play as much. And her walks have been kind of curtailed. So we'll be, after this, be spending some playtime outside for her. And if you hear construction, there's construction going on right outside our window. I'm hoping that for lunchtime, they will be on lunch and we'll be all together, just calm and quiet. One of the other reasons why I haven't live streamed a lot because we have so much noise right now. But anyway, so quick energy update for everyone. I'm just going to read this to you because I just downloaded it and plopped it on the page, and it's stuff that a friend of mine and I have been talking about. And when and just in those conversations, it's been a lot easier unpacking and putting into words what the energy is that I've been feeling and maybe you have been feeling as well. And I've been feeling a lot of intense energy. I try not to watch the news very much, but how can you not know what's going on? So I kind of do. And a lot of what we're seeing go on is this manifestation of a friction. And I'm going to talk about that friction. And I want to be really clear. I don't want anyone saying, oh, well, who would want to manifest this? And why would there's no blame or shame in this. It's the collective energy of maybe, fear in certain areas that's causing some stuff. And then all of that happening on the backdrop of the energy, the larger energy shift that's happening, which I'll also talk about. So the fight of the lower vibrational masculine, or what a lot of people call the patriarchy, is trying to hold on to old paradigms. And those are crumbling, whether they are in obvious ways or in more energetic ways, and will soon come into the physical world. And this is all because, as we all know, the divine feminine is rising. And I don't like the idea of, and she's angry, because that's not really what it is. Think about as if a scale for centuries has been like this. And over the centuries, as we know, like through archaeological digs, like when something lays on the earth for centuries, it gets covered up. It gets covered up with dirt, and maybe some people build buildings on it and like all that kind of stuff. And then all of a sudden, an earthquake happens, and maybe it rises back into balance. But in that, this, you see like the earth moving and the structures going away and maybe reconstituting themselves somewhere else. That's what's going on. And it's not that the divine feminine is rising and we're going to be like, oh, and we are domineering. That is not what's going to happen. It's bringing it all back into balance. And we're feeling that that imbalance that has been going on for centuries is really in the forefront right now. And the difference about stuff happening now is you don't see women stepping back. You see them stepping and leaning in. You see them saying, you know, this centuries old imbalance is no longer serving me, and leaning into my masculine to make up the difference, or just to kind of get along. That doesn't serve me either. And it doesn't feel good. It doesn't serve me. It doesn't serve my country. It doesn't serve my household. It doesn't serve any of that. And also being really clear, divine feminine has nothing to do with that June cleaver thing. That is more of like the patriarchal outline of what they feel should be in that low vibrational. Like that's low vibrational feminine. High vibrational divine feminine, high vibrational divine masculine are in balance, where one supports the other, not like goes out and works, but more like making sure that our vibration of creativity is able to do its thing. And then in turn, we're doing this, supporting each other in a balance. Because when it's out of balance, that's why things don't work out so good, as we have seen. But that unbalanced idea of who and what women are supposed to be in society has gone on for just far too long. And it says, and now I'm listening, like this is women speaking. I am now listening to my soul and my inner divine feminine, and will be standing in that invitation of inviting the divine feminine to rise and or rather raise its vibration and meet all of us, including like our divine feminine, our divine masculine within ourselves. Like it's not going to be rainbows, this invitation. It's you know, like I said, it's coming out of the earth and rebalancing. And it's not gonna, that change doesn't come like all rainbows and unicorns and skipping down the road. It's the divine feminine that will bring resilience and sovereignty as it rises. And that's the difference in the vibration this time. Like when you see, you know, people back in the suffragette kind of days, and there was a lot of fighting for us, for our rights, which I'm totally down with. I love that. I am a, you know, feminist all the way. But what I'm trying to say is, the thing is, you will have more and more women just leaning into their femininity, into their feminine energy of saying, I'm just really tired of making up the difference by leaning into my masculine. I'm going to take it somewhere else. I'm going to be more feminine, be in my divine feminine, which does, it again, does not mean I'm going to look like June Cleaver. It means I'm in my sovereignty. That's a huge difference. And the affirmation that came to me for this, for everyone, and this, and I want to be really clear, men also have divine feminine energy and divine masculine energy. And they have been, and the ones that are supporting us, supporting the feminine that is there, they're tired too, because they're tired having to pick up the slack for everybody else. They're probably tired for trying to figure out, what am I supposed to do here? Because they're not allowed to be in their full higher vibrational masculine either. So that balance needs to happen. You know, it's not pretty, but it's happening. But that's what's really going on behind the scenes, even though we're seeing a lot of this stuff going on. The divine feminine, like right now, perfect example, stepping up and nurturing, feeding those that need it, supporting the people that need the nurturing the most, when the lower vibrational masculine won't step in and help, because they're like, that's not what we value. This is a value of love, a value of nurturing, a value of giving and receiving, and the love language of that is acts of service and stuff like that. Not servant or servitude, but acts of service and being there to support and nurture everybody around us, including ourselves. That's the feminine energy we want to stand in, and do so with our own sovereignty. So the affirmation I have is I no longer am solely responsible for the balance of energy, nor am I responsible for or choosing to meet anyone else's energy. Because that's a big deal. Like, I'm going to meet you where you're at. If you're going to be, no, I'm not meeting anybody. I'm sovereign in myself. I bring my own energy and I get to choose what that is. And I'm here to stand in my own sovereignty, choose my own focus and energy and stand in that. This is the only energy I am now choosing to be responsible for. And I will put that in a description box for all of this. But that's what I'm seeing. So I wanted to share that with everybody right now. And with that, the veil is thin. So let's pull some cards. I'm going to be using Animal Deck. Why? Instead of the Season of the Witch deck for Samhain, because those are like pretty intense. We already are in intense times. I think a little gentle animal energy is going to be really good right now. So I'm gonna, let's see, look at questions. Let's see. And we have Amy. Hi, I'm just saying hi to everybody. This retrograde is bananas. Girl, Shauna, it hasn't even freaking started yet, the retrograde. That starts on the 9th of November and goes to the 29th. So like the day after Thanksgiving. So family gatherings might be interesting this year. And there's some other stuff going on. Let's see. Okay, so I have Ara, you're the first in with a question. So I'm going to go to Ara. And let's see. And again, little Bella, she's just wandering around. If you're there and you want to send her some calming love, that would be great. Poor little thing. It's like she hasn't been able to go outside until today because, she goes outside for, her pit stop breaks. But like, she likes playing out there. She loves chasing the birds out there. She hasn't been able to do so because it's been raining. So, and I'm doing work. I can't stop and play with her, throw the ball all day long. But I have some Kongs in the freezer for her for later this afternoon. That'll help too. Anyway, so Ara, what would Spirit like to share with me? So I don't know. Let's see. Okay. Oh, Ara. Okay, so before I even pull a card, this is what I'm getting. Now I'm going to I am going to preface this with, I know Ara personally. I know all y'all personally for the most part, unless I don't, and then I'll tell you. So I do know her living situation. I also feel like there's a little bit of worry around the current. I don't know if it's worry. That's not the right word. Frustration's not the right word either. I'm not sure what the word is. But there's something around your personal living space that is, I don't want to say irritating because that's not, it's not just because it's just like that with you. I don't know if it's frustration or if it's like, there's just like this discomfort around it. And I'm not seeing the main house. I'm seeing your house. And I'm not sure what that is. And like, there's this, and I don't know why. And what I do want to let you know is I feel like it's more of like what I was talking about going on. Like, you're experiencing some interesting, and it's weird because we always are looking like, that person made me irritated, but it's more like I know that I'm being irritated. I don't know how to fix this, and it's around this house. Like, I don't know if it's like we're grumpy around the house. So I want to kind of lean into, and I shared this in one of my posts. It's like we're gonna have to start grounding really hard into our spiritual practices to make sure that we stay tethered to that stuff instead of like tethering on to the energy that is so ugh right now. So that's the first thing. Let me pull some cards on this for you, Ara. Thank you for sending love to Bella too. Oh, hi Ashley. Hello. Oh, one card. Okay. All right. So for you, I got upside down eel spirit, which upside down, as we all know, is I I didn't know that. I forgot that I knew that, or I'm being a whiny baby because I know it. I'm not doing it. I don't think you're the whiny baby, Ara. I feel like in your electric eel is bring your ideas to life, and I feel like it's more. Maybe that's what it is. And we're kind of like our full moon that's coming is in Taurus. So that's like, making things around you comfy and cozy, and especially with us going into the wintering season. I'm wondering if bringing your ideas to light, like you're not doing certain things for whatever reason. I don't know if it's having to do with the business or if it's like you're not doing things in your living space to make it as cozy as you'd like, because there might need to be discussion with your cohabitating partner about that kind of stuff. Like there might be, Spirit keeps showing me an easy chair, which I think is so like, that's kind of a stereotype, when in that show Frasier, when his dad moves in and everything is so beautiful in the apartment, and then there's this like ugly ass chair with duct tape on it. I feel like it's kind of like there's something maybe like that going on. I don't know if that's it or if it is more like you've not decorated where it's not feeling totally like yours. I just feel like there's an uneasiness there. And part of it might be bringing your ideas to life, like allowing yourself. Ooh, something just hit the side of the house. Um, Allowing yourself to be like, I feel like there's a creative side to you that's missing, like that creativity of flow. You do such, I mean, like the main house has got such great design elements in it. So I'm wondering if maybe that's it, and I'm not quite sure if that's it. Um, but I feel like it's around the house, and I feel like there's something around the house not being finished, and not by finished like where you can't live in it, more like just making it your own. So I feel like making your living space will more yours and more maybe. Okay, this is what just kind of released. There's other people around you, as you and I both know, and I feel like um, there's been a lot of appeasement for those people and not enough to yourself. So I'm feeling like you need to, and appease is the right word for dealing with what's going on with them, but it's almost like you're just so tired that you're like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do whatever you want, fine. And you can't be that way. You need to go and make your house your way. Like go move the furniture around if that's what you have to do. Um, Hang things up that you want to hang up. Get rid of shit that you don't want in there. Um, and maybe redesign, and like I know it's fall and we're going into winter, but like the outside of the house or the space where you are, that needs some beautification too, or some, I don't know if you've already put anchoring energy at the four corners of that little space that is just yours. I know that you guys have done the whole property, but that anchoring that space, clearing that space, anchoring it and grounding it just for you and your cohabitating partner, um, that feels good too. And then once that's done, clearing your space inside if you haven't done it already, which I'm assuming you did. But again, I shouldn't assume. Um, and making sure that that space has both your energies, not just one energy. I think that's kind of it. So that's what I have for you. So, and you know, take from that what you will. It might be more, what do they call it? figurative speech than literal speech, or the other way. I mean, I just share what I share. So I hope that was helpful. Let's see. Who else do we have here? So that was Ara. Now we have David. My art. David says, my art, as usual, it was a slow summer. Do you see a breakthrough or a certain place that might be a hotspot? Since, let's see, I don't do future casting, as you well know, David. I do look into the energy to see more what's going on there. And I love how visible you've been. Okay. I absolutely love that. And by the way, your tomato painting that I know you shared, I can't remember if you texted it to me or you shared it, like the big one that you were going to put in the Tomato Art Festival. Oh my God, it's so freaking beautiful. I loved it. I loved it. I thought that was great. And I love my painting that you gave me, my blue trees. David gave me a painting and it was so pretty. It's in my office. If I was in my office, I would show it to you, but I'm not. So, but I'll point it out when it's in the background next time. But let's see. I'm going to encourage you to keep doing the stuff that you're doing. I also feel like, I don't know if you're part of communities or not. I feel like you're not really engaged in maybe the creative communities around you, in the sense of like where you go to other people's stuff and you go to your stuff and then you kind of do things that are like, I feel like you don't have a big artist community around you that you hang out with. And I'm wondering if that might help you in the sense of finding out where shows could be, or even supporting other people can keep you feeling like you're moving forward. I feel like that's something, there's a support system that needs to happen for you. And that's just like downloading for that. That's number one. But as far as like your artwork, Spirit keeps saying, please don't focus on the money on this. We download the art for you, not to say, and I know Kathy's like, I need my room in the back of the house back. But what I feel like is keep painting. Everything will work out fine, but keep painting and keep showing up and showing them off. And I don't know, like posting one picture of something on Facebook or Instagram, from a practical standpoint, doesn't really get your message out there. And this is just business advice. People, before, they have to see something 11 times at the very least before they will act on something, one way or the other. So don't feel like you're over posting or not posting. So if you have like a page that's totally dedicated just to your artwork, maybe do that. You can even post it on your Substack. Be like, I painted this. Here's the story behind it, that kind of thing. Just putting it out there. Because I have one client that does glass blowing and glass work. I mean, I can't even call it what it is, but she's doing stuff at a level that's unheard of for somebody that's only been doing it for like a year or two. So anyways, but she kind of will post little things like, here's what I'm doing, and people buy it off her internet. So anyway, so let's pull you a card. Oop, there we go. And this kind of goes back, interesting. This goes back to what we talked about when I first met you at the Conversations with Spirit event a few months ago. And you received Upside Down Snake Spirit. And what that is this one, I feel like for you is, I know, but I keep forgetting. And it's time to heal. And it's exactly what we were talking about, where in that event as well. I feel like there's still healing that needs to happen to open up your energy so that you can receive that people are like going to give you money for your paintings. There's that. Or people will value your work. There needs to be healing within self about your own value so that your paintings then have that value in your mind. So what I'm trying to say is that we all have, if those of us that have businesses, our business is an extension of us, as we are an extension of source. So any emotional, personal work, inner work that we need to do, that goes on in our business too. So here it says time to heal. So it's time for you to let go of any place in your personal life, in your you growing up, in your inner child, where you were told that you didn't have value and the stuff that you didn't have value. And that all needs to be healed up so that once it is and is transmuted into wisdom, then that healing will roll over into the art. And then, and I don't even mean the content of your art, I mean the energy of it when you're putting it out there. Because that's what it really is. It's the putting it out there and then knowing without fail that the right person will have that piece and will show up for that piece and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm talking about. So healing that, worthiness stuff and the value stuff that just keeps coming back up. So that's what I have for you this time, David, is that same kind of, it's time to just keep working on the healing. I feel like that's big for you. Okay. Oop. Wrong way to do this. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Now we have Kim. Oh, hey, Kim. Hello. How will the next few weeks look for me? Kim, again, this is not me being psychic. This is me knowing Kim because I sent her a little text the other day. I was like, hey, why are you on my heart? And she was like, I got a new job. So that's probably what she's asking. So it's not like, but how will the next few weeks work for her? Okay, Kim. Oh, Kim. Your Capricorniness, I think, may, get a little bit in the way of like, this should be this way and that should be that way and blah, 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 blah. But you got Deer Spirit, which is, and it's upside down, which is why I'm saying the Capricorn thing might be showing up for you. Bring a gentle touch. So the vibe that I'm getting is don't put all of your emotional eggs in the basket for this particular job. Give yourself some space and realize, I feel like what has to happen is finding your fulfillment in this job may not happen. It may just be like, it's a job you can do. It is a job that doesn't cause you that much stress if you don't let it. And it'll pay your bills and allow you to do the things that do bring you joy and do bring you passion, and maybe open up some space if you allow, and don't focus on like, well, they don't do this right. If you allow, just go, okay, I'm just going to go do this and thank you for my money. And in that openness of not having to deal with that kind of thing, oh, I'm going to get money too. It allows you to kind of really decide, what is it that I want to do? What is it that I want to, I don't know, maybe it's travel, maybe it is going to the alternative healing stuff that you like to do. Maybe it's focusing more in the direction of hospice, which I know you like to do, but it's going to grant you the space to have the time to ponder that, which I feel like has not really, there's like this lot of this, but not a lot of like giving self permission to have the space to think, to feel into things, that kind of stuff. So bringing a gentler touch to this experience will open that up for you, and is what I'm being told for you. So I hope that helps. And then we have, let's see, we have Desiree. Hello, girlfriend. We should have a virtual coffee soon. We should do that, I feel like, just to catch up and see where we're at. Desiree asked, I'm curious what the cards say about work, job, career. I feel there is an opportunity to change things, but I'm not sure where to focus my energy. Girl, is that not everybody? Like, I've had that for the last couple of weeks. I kind of settled on certain things. Like, I'm going to be changing some stuff up next year, or adding things, or going back, like revising and all that. Everything has been in my head. And I was talking to my business coach Tuesday. I think it was Tuesday. It's such a blur. It could have been Thursday. No, it wasn't yesterday. Maybe it was Wednesday. I don't even know. And I said to him, I was like, I know that you have like you got 3 memberships, you're launching a course, you're teaching a course, and I'm like, I'm trying to do a bunch of things so that I'm ready for next year. And and granted, yes, I have done a lot of like the groundwork, and I said, but how do you keep it straight in your brain, all the juggling all the balls? And he's like, I'm very structured, and you need to be structured too. And you would think all of the people out there are like, Michelle's not structured. She's a Virgo. That's like her jam. She color codes her planners. But sometimes I am like a walking upside down card where I forget that I'm supposed to be doing that kind of stuff. So in that confusion, I was very much lost in like, what am I even friggin' doing? So I feel you, Desiree. I really do. One thing that helped me, and this is just like an energy shift inside your space, like whatever your workspace is, if it is a hot mess or like even an organized mess, like what all the piles are, I'm going to encourage you to take time, which it seems so contrary to what we feel and have been programmed to do, which is do, 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 do. Don't have time to like, you know, actually clean up after yourself. You have to go clean up the kitchen or whatever. So the other day I took probably about, I don't know, an hour, and I tidied up my office and got my desk into some sort of like, you know, sorted through a lot of mail and all that kind of stuff, and just got myself organized and tidied everything up to where when I turn around and I even or I look at my desk or I look at my little cart next to where all my card decks are, like I'm not looking at a mess. And I feel like Louise Hay always talked about how our outer world is very reflective of our inner space. And so we can look around and be like, oh, this is why I'm a hot mess. The outside is reflecting to me like, oh, I'm so confused. But the funny thing is, if you clean up your space and you tidy it up, all of a sudden it gives you so much room to breathe, and the clarity that comes from that is amazing. So probably I did that. I went out to lunch, ran a few errands, came home, and then I was like, I had this really interesting idea that I wanted to flesh out, and I worked until probably about 6:30 when Bella was like, hi, I'd like to eat something, please. So I'm going to encourage you first off to check out your surroundings. Make sure that wherever you're working, whatever these, like your personal workspace, whether it's in the house, at somewhere else, everything is organized and tidy and cleaned up. Maybe even sage it when you're done. And then sit there in your space, maybe take some deep breaths and just ground into that openness and allowing yourself to almost imagine your thoughts being organized into either file cabinets or maybe putting a jigsaw puzzle together where all the pieces go from being in a pile to being in this beautiful picture of what it feels like to feel organized in your space, in your mind, as far as your business and your career. So let's see. Ooh, you got 2. Okay, interesting. Well, this is funny. You're going to be like, I am asking spirit, but I feel like this is more geared towards you. So you have upside down hawk spirit is the first one to pop out, which is let spirit be your guide, which is kind of funny. You're going to be like, but I showed up to a reading. How is it upside down where I forgot that I knew that, I didn't know that, or I know that and I'm being a whiny baby? I think it's more about you looking outside of yourself when you know what you're going to do. And I feel like once you kind of clean up that clutter, you either declutter your space, your mind, or both, and you sit for a minute, and you will get like that inner hard yes, hard no, or hell yeah on various things, and you'll feel it like right in between here, like either in your stomach, in your heart area. I feel like when you start maybe writing down on a piece of paper or some index cards, like on each one, write down the opportunity. You don't have to write a blurb, you know what they are. Just like write the opportunity and then kind of lay them out and then pick them each up and kind of really sit with them and see where they show up in your body and what that feels like. That's your answer. Side up, and that is trust in the magic. So I feel like this is really more of a spiritual practice decision happening for you, because I can't make that decision for you. Because if I say do this, you're gonna be like, and it doesn't work out. Like, Michelle, you told me to do this, and you suck because it didn't work out. So this is much more about you. A lot of times when we try to make decisions, we want, like, we're like, oh, I don't want to be, I don't want to make someone upset over here, or I don't want to miss out. But we really need to just kind of say, you know what? I need to sit with this and really allow my body and my energy to tell me what of these is going to feel the best for me in this moment. And then no, like, no, if at some point it doesn't feel right, because we've all had that where we started something and we're like, oh, this is great. And then all of a sudden something changes and it doesn't feel right. And it's okay to shift gears when that happens. It's not, I have to just keep trudging up this hill. It's, this might be my sign to do something else. And I did what I did and I'm thankful for it. And now I'm going to take that knowledge and wisdom and go do something else. So that, that FOMO thing is just an illusion, really. For you, I think you just need to really sit with your stuff and do, like I said, like kind of write them out, like I said, and kind of have some quiet time. Give yourself some quiet time if you can do that around that, to help lean into all of this, like inner stuff. Let's see. Shauna says, I am convinced the date of the retrograde is wrong. It started. Girl, me too. But and I think we're in pre-shade. We've been in pre-shade for about a week and a half right now. Oh my goodness. And this, like the technology stuff, like everything's crazy. I am so grateful that this is working. Yeah. Thank you guys for sending her so much love. I'm so excited that you guys are sending the love. See how calm she's being too, right over here? Where is she? Over there. See? She's being such a good girl. Thank you for helping her. Nikki, oh my God. You're here. Hey, Nikki. Haven't seen you in like forever. I do follow your stuff though. Nikki says, I want to switch careers, but I have too many ideas. I feel like I'm going in circles and getting more stuck. What do I need to give myself to feel more confident and move forward? Okay, so here's the interesting thing about confidence. You don't get it until you do it. So I know that's kind of like, again, more circles. But what I will say to you is this, kind of similarly to what I share with Desiree, and also just, again, you're not alone. I know that may or may not be helpful, but the energy right now has a lot of our minds muddled about what we want to do at the exact time when we're all trying to figure it out, because it's like going to be November tomorrow, for next year. And it's really interesting because this year, 2025, I have to keep reminding myself, is a 9 year. 9 is all about endings and things coming to a close, things that have been in place for a really long time going away, and that breakdown and composting of all the stuff for however many years. I don't remember what the astrology around that is, but it might be personal free, like stuff that's always served us just doesn't anymore. And it's funny because humans are not really good with change. So like, that's why we kind of hang out in spaces when they don't serve us anymore for a really long time, until we're like, oh, this really doesn't serve us, so let's go. And sometimes we, like, have to wait for someone to boot us out, but instead of making the decision, just go. But this one I feel like is more about closure. So it's a lot of us want to have that closure, but then with that comes the 1 year, which is next year, and trying to figure out what does that look like. And sometimes that blank canvas can be very overwhelming. It can be so overwhelming because, as you said, Nikki, there's so many ideas, like there's so many possibilities, and much like what Desiree was saying, so many opportunities. I've had a bunch of clients being like, I have all these opportunities, like there's all of this stuff. I've been given opportunities. And it's interesting, like some of them have been in the legal field, that with people that I totally admire and I love them. And I'm still like deciding, like, because it was offered up like in a really aligned way. And I'm like, is that what I really want? I don't know. As a stream of income, not, a 100% shift, but as a stream of income, or doing something like these other things that I find a lot of stuff that are things that I did when I didn't know what I was doing, kind of coming back around and starting from a place of experience to test them out and see if this is something that I want to do. And I'm not, and then there are just brand new things like this Substack business where I'm trying to do live streams here during a Mercury retrograde. I mean, talk about like I'm just gonna be a pain in my own ass, right? So there's all of these things, and so I wanted to say all that to say you're not alone in this like kind of feeling like you've got a lot of plates spinning of ideas, and trying to figure out which one will stay in the air on its own and lift you up. And I feel like what's really funny is I know what your career is, and I know you love it because you love your people, and it's also you're tired. So that's kind of the issue. And maybe you do need to take a break. Maybe finding some of these other opportunities, and maybe there's a way for you to do them while you're like transitioning, like creating a more of a smooth transition instead of a break, is what I'm wondering. But I feel like you're like a move is coming. And I mean like up and over here, like to another space or location. Um, and I don't just mean like changing jobs. I mean like another town. I don't know if it's like temporary or you would move there permanently, but I'm seeing that as something that brings some expansion, like a brand new, and this is next year, like a brand new, whatever the opportunity is, everything is new. And I see snow, so I don't know if this is like Colorado, Seattle, uh, Washington, Oregon, or like Colorado or something like that. But that's like the vibe. Um, anyways, that stuff is what I'm getting for you. So let me pull you a card and we'll see. This one. Everybody's getting upside down stuff. I think it's because we're so confused right now between the energy and the retrograde. It's upside down. Cat spirit, claim your independence. So again, what we have to remember is upside down is I didn't know that. I forgot that I knew that. I know that, and I'm being a whiny baby. I think this is I forgot that I knew that. This is a like being in your own sovereignty and your own independence, like making those choices without and I don't want this to come off mean because it's not mean. It's you owning you. It's you making your choices, focusing your energy flow so that you can manifest where the energy flow is creating stuff. Like you manage your focus to flow the energy to do the things you want to do. Um, so really your independence is about your sovereignty, about owning what you want and not letting other people, friends, family, whoever you trust that you listen to. Everybody has their own ideas, and whether they are conscious or unconscious of their own agendas pouring through those ideas, that is not here or there. You have to look at them and be like, okay, that's their take on it. What do I really want for me without it reflecting off of any of these people's ideas? That's where you need to make these decisions from, is totally like what do you want without, well, someone said if the downside is this, or like without, or your itty bitty shitty committee who isn't really your voice anyway coming in and saying like, well, if you do that, this bad thing will happen, or stuff like that. Really kind of focus on what do I want and stay in that space versus what do I want, and then writing it down and then being like, well, then here's the downside of this, that, the next thing, and then you're stuck back in that circle again. But focusing on what you really want, where you want to go, and how you want to live without it being a reflection, and be really conscious of the fact that certain things are reflections off of other people, like knowing in yourself something's a no or a yes versus, well, growing up so and so said this about that thing, or a similar vibration is what's influencing your decision about things. So really just be quiet within yourself and figure that out for you and make that decision without any hesitation. um let's see. Hope that was helpful. Desiree, yes, please, to the coffee. Okay, well, I'll send you we'll talk after. Ashley, what do spirits want me to know? Girl, please. And I'm not saying that she's laughing. Don't think that I'm being ugly because this is my Ashley's one of my besties. It's like, what do they want me to know? They want you to know, move to England, get with your man, and fly your horses over and don't worry about space. I mean, I could just, otherwise things would not be happening this way. So what do they want you to know? I'll pull you a card though. You're so funny. Okay. You can't make this shit up, okay? I don't do close-up card magic. I don't make it up. You got turtle spirit. You know what I'm talking about. Slow and steady wins the race. Right now, and you and I had this conversation, and there was a whole lot of my friend me is like, those MFers, blah, blah, blah. Coach and spiritual me is like, I see this. So slow and steady wins the race means you can't be focusing on the stuff that you're not getting that you need right now. And I know you and I fall in the same trap where it's like, well, I need this thing and that person ain't doing their job. I'm going to go down there and make them do their job. And I've done it. I've done it recently, you've done it recently. But it's more like, really kind of do what you can do, what you can control, and then move to the next thing you can control and, maybe ping people, but staying in that mindset of I'm not getting what I want as fast as I want it, or I feel that I need it, slows things down even more, which is frustrating because it's contrary. And I know that, and you know that, but what I'm getting is slow and steady wins the race means being patient with yourself. I know you want to get where you're going to go, and you're going to get there. I totally know you're going to get there because I already know that I have points accruing for me to fly to where you're going to be so I can get there with you. So I know you're going to be there. And I want you to kind of more focus on being present in your moment and just putting one foot in front of the other because that is all you can do right now. And being okay with that, giving yourself some grace around that. And not, again, back to I'm not responsible for everybody else's energy. I can't be. You can't be. It's not, it doesn't feel good. So being responsible for your own energy allows you to put yourself in a space where your vibration is higher. And when you do that, you focus on what you want, not what you don't, and your energy flows to that. And then it brings it closer to you more quickly. And that's why this slow and steady thing needs to kind of like bring you back into grounding, bring you back into being in the moment, focusing on what you need to do in the moment, do your PMF treatments, play with the puppies, keep packing, keep working on your stuff, all that kind of thing. Come visit your bestie and hang out. We'll go have whatever. And that's it. But things will move at a pace that is faster when you're in a higher vibrational state, which is what the whole upside down thing is for. Because we're not realizing slow and steady wins the race. And it's really weird because I've been there. And I'm not preaching. I'm sharing what I'm getting and knowing from experience how genuinely tough that can be. But I also know when you take a step back and you're like right now I'm getting like you have a headache over all this shit. And just take a day. I'm going to encourage you to take a day off. Take a day to just if you can carve it out in your calendar and keep that white space and go do the things that you and I talked about you were going to do to celebrate you leaving corporate America. Because by the way, y'all, my friend Ashley left corporate America 2 Fridays ago, and she is doing her own thing, and she's going to go move to another country. It's going to be great. So congratulations to her, jazz hands to her. And the slow and steady part, it's just part of the process. It's like you said, and Ashley, you said this to me, the unwinding of yourself from your current life to the next one takes time. So I'm going to give you your own advice back at you. So I'm going to go over a little bit because I did start late due to the technical difficulties. So let's see. Let's see. Where am I? Shauna, how can I release my attachment to my sense of security to make some necessary leaps to what I know is a much better place, career, etc. for me. Oh, Shauna. It's so interesting. Is that not like the biggest question we all are having right now? Like, how do I let go of what is the past, again, 9 year, and leap into what is the new, the next, the 1 year, which is next year, with wanting, and what it is we're trying to have a sense of knowing versus a sense of faith. It's almost like we have to have the faith in ourselves and in the thing of where we're going, because and human nature is like, I need to know where I'm going before I can actually do it. But the funny thing is, and here comes little Miss. Hello, little Miss. Hi, Mrs. Bella. Yes, we're still chatting. Like that Indiana Jones, and I think I use this example a lot. There's that scene in Last Crusade where he has to, go through the challenges in the cave, the booby trap stuff to save his father. And one of them, it's like he's standing, and like there's an opening where he is, and there's one across the way, but there's this like cavernous pit. And in the book, it says, the pen, like the whatever, the faithful dependent man takes a leap of faith or whatever, and he basically puts his hand on his heart, puts his leg out, and he's like, I know that this is going to be here for me. And he takes a step down, and it looks like he's going to fall into the pit, but actually it hits a hard surface that was painted to look exactly like the rest of the cave, to kind of camouflage it, so that you had to take the leap of faith and know that it was there. And what I'm going to encourage you from a perspective of what we all have been talking about, you and I especially, since the very beginning, because you've been a client since the very, very beginning. And one of the things is, we have to be in certainty that the universe has our back, and we need to kind of make decisions from a place of love versus a place of fear. And if you need proof, I'm going to direct you to your own proof file, where everything you have ever really touched is a success in one form or fashion. Everything. And I know you're thinking, Luna, okay? Everything in your life, whenever you've done something, there is some form or fashion of exorbitant success. So knowing that you have a good track record and having faith in yourself to continue your track record is a big deal. Also, having the faith that the universe is going to be there for you is the same kind of faith to have. So you and I both know I can't tell you what to do, but that I can tell you as far as advice. And we'll pull you a card. Thinking on your feet. Now, this is such a Shauna card. Fox, right side up. Think on your feet. This is resilience. This is knowing, like, this is the ball being thrown at me. Oh, I can just catch it and throw it back instead of letting it hit me. That's what you are already. That's exactly what I just said. Everything you have ever done, even like when you might say, oh, well, some parts of it have been negative, the gross end product has been positive and fulfilling. So I'm going to say to you, feel into whatever thing feels right now, and then you can know that because of who you are, you will still be okay no matter what. So that's what I'm sharing with you right now. I hope that's helpful. And let's see. Julia Hancock from across the pond in the UK for me. How are you? Hello, I'm in the car, so can't listen right now, but hope I can watch back later. I'd love a card. Julia, you're so funny. And I'm going to tell you, Shauna knows. She's over there. You're letting Julia drive around when you don't let me get on the call. I'm going to say, Julia, you shouldn't be on the internet while you're in the car. I'll pull you a card. You can look at it later, but don't look at it now because, oh my gosh. Wow, I don't think I haven't gotten porcupine spirit in a really long time. So, Julia, this is for you. Time for beginner mindset. And what that means isn't so much to do something from a space of unknowing. Beginner mindset is to stop acting like a know-it-all in certain areas. And the way that you can open up your experience is to approach something from, say, a childlike sense of mindset, or from a you're going to start something from a space of experience and wisdom versus from nothing. But being able to do so from a spot of I'm not the smartest person in the room, and everybody else in the room I can learn something from. So that's kind of the gist of this. So for you, as you move through the next couple of weeks, maybe just say to yourself, who can I learn from? Who can I learn from? And just be open to whatever learning opportunity comes from, so that you can always be in beginner mindset. I think that's for you. Let's see. Kim, can you send good vibes that my dog will come back home? We were outside and I let my eyes off him. Now I don't know where he is. Oh, Kim. Oh, that's rough. So everybody, if you would like to send Kim some energy there. Also, maybe we ask St. Francis of Assisi to protect her dog as they are out and about and guide them home. And Archangel Ariel also, which is the archangel of animals, to bring him home to her or her. I don't remember if it's a boy or a girl. Oh, he. It's a him. Bring him home. So just kind of, sending the energy out there. Sending your dog to find GPS. Oh, I love it. Yeah, exactly what. Yay, Shona, that's awesome. What does Spirit want me to know today? Ashley, I'm too scattered to ask a specific question. Yep, no worries. We're all scattered, Ashley, as you well know from listening today. Shauna, this is hilarious. From what I'm telling you, of course. Kathy's question is all the way at the top. Kathy wrote a question. Did you see my? I didn't see your question, Kathy. Where is it? I'm so sorry. Kathy. I don't see it, Kathy. And this is Kathy Clemen. I don't see your question. If you could re-put it in, Kathy, that'd be great. And you're welcome. Yeah, see, Shauna's okay, just a quick note, Julia. Shauna has been notorious for the last 8 years. Whenever we're doing something, she's not always in her car, but notorious for she's like, I'm here, I'm just in the car driving down the street. I'm like, stop being on video. So that's why I'm very big on don't drive your car and join things, because that's not safe. Kathy, what do you see for my physical and mental health? Okay. Let's see. Amy, do you see mine? I thought I did yours, Amy. Did you see my question? Oh, I'm so sorry, Amy. I did see your question. There it is. Should I sign up for the next available class this spring to train for my new career, or will I need to wait? Okay, Amy, quick. I don't give directive answers, because that takes away your sovereignty. So I want to be really clear about that. So what I will answer is more of a reframed question for you, which would be, what do I need to focus on so that I can make this decision for myself? So that's what we're going to see a little bit more. Let it shine. Oh, peacock spirit. So it's upside down. This to me is, okay, what I'm getting off of here. So upside down is, again, I didn't know that. I forgot that I knew that. I know that I'm being a whiny baby. I think this is the third one, but you're not being a whiny baby about it. You're being afraid. So this is let it shine, peacock. Okay. And what that means is, you know the answer to this. And the holdback isn't so much, should I take it or should I not? My career, blah, blah, blah. It's whether or not your soul wants you to take it, whether or not this is something that's going to allow you to shine even more, and that part of you is afraid to shine. That's why this is a question for you versus actually just being like, hey, I'm just going to go do this. It's more about honoring your calling of your soul. And people sometimes think, oh, it's some big profound thing. Your soul purpose is the same as everybody else's. Abundance, love, and just kind of being happy all the time. Joy, love, and abundance. That's your soul. That's my soul purpose and yours. Your life purpose is different. People use these interchangeably, and they're not interchangeable. So everyone's soul purpose, because we all have the same connection to source, the same soul energy, which is joy, love, and abundance. Your life purpose is how you manifest that joy, love, and abundance into this particular lifetime experience. So for some people, that could be accounting. For some people, it could be reading cards and doing soul coaching and stuff like that. It could be, energy healing. It could be creative outlets like doing your art and stuff like that. But it really is like when you sit down and you think to yourself, what makes me feel full of love, joy, and abundance when I'm doing it? That's when your soul and your life purposes line up. So I feel like somewhere along the line, someone took your shine away, took away, or told you you needed to be small. So if the question about this is, do I take the class or not? Because it's gonna, like, in your mind, because our mind and our, like, there's a lot of times where, like, we know we need to shine, and our body, because of past experiences, holding trauma or past experiences that were not so great, where shining was not helpful, and our brains know we're adults and we need to go shine or we can't do things, but our bodies don't let us do it because our little inner child is afraid of being seen. So what I'm going to encourage you to do is, when you have those moments of like cringing, and when you think about it, ask the cringe. Like, don't just be like, oh, I'm cringing. Just ask, like, when is this from? When is it? Not what is this? When is this from? And I'm choosing to release this now so that I can be free from it. And I will keep the wisdom of it, but I'm going to let go of the fear around it. And then make your decision. I feel like that's what it has to be about. It has to be about letting go of whatever the fear is and then making the decision. And I think that'll help you really lean into what it is that you need to do. So I hope that was helpful, Amy. And then Kathy. What do you see for my physical and mental health? Okay. And this, I think, is going to be the last one is Kathy's. So because I didn't see, and let me ask you, anybody else who's on that was on from the beginning, and I will know because I see all the names, like Kathy Griswold. I have not seen a question from you, and you normally ask one. So I don't know if you're still here, if you want to pop that in, and then I think that's it. That'll be everyone. So Kathy with a C. By the way, Kathy with a C, I responded Happy Halloween to David earlier, and I used Kathy with a K, and I am so sorry. So, because I'm very stickler for names, you know that. So Kathy with a C is with a C. And her card just popped out. You got two jumpers. And we have upside down lizard and, ooh, right side up owl. So, but yours is kind of about physical and mental health. Dream the world into being. So that, I think, right there is upside down. Everything for you is really about your mental health. Even the physical stuff is being caused by, even though, like, you might say, oh, the outside causes this. The reason there's a weakness in the system is the mental thing, the emotional thing. And from what I'm getting, there's a lot of like work. No play, no, like, there's a lot of too much left brain activity for both you and David. I think this is also a thing. Too much left brain. Left brain is logic, structure, lots of masculine energy stuff. And there's no softness from your right brain stuff, which is creativity and playfulness and self-nurture. And like, think of it like that. Like, there's an imbalance there, and that's what's going on. There's too much, like, carrying too many things. That's what either carrying or holding too many things. There's not enough playfulness. And by playfulness, you don't have to go out and play in the sandbox, but more like doing stuff that you want to see it start showing up in your world. It's almost like you're doing stuff because you think you have to, and you think you're trying to push, and all that's happening is frustration, and that frustration is turning into like keep getting like pain in your back and in your joints and just like stiffness like up in here. Yeah. So what I'm going to encourage you to do, and again, everybody, I want to be really clear. A lot of the stuff I've been saying today is contrary to our programming. Our program is just keep going, and that is not what we can do anymore. With that divine feminine rising, that is an invitation to like rest when you need rest, and then do what you need to do when you need to do it. But honor your body, honor your energy level, honor what you need so that you can show up to be that person that is your favorite version of you. And I feel like, Kathy, that is for you as well, because I feel like you're not dreaming your world into being right now because you're not dreaming. You're not letting yourself dream. You're not letting yourself do the things that you want to do. And that is that's what's causing all the issues. So I'm going to encourage you to stop. And I think it's funny because people be like, well, what about this person? I live with them, I cohabitate with them, or these family members. And here's the thing. If you're not taking care of you first, you cannot show up for them. You can't even show up for you. You're not going to show up for them the way you really would want to. So that's why this is so important. And then your second card was Owl Spirit, right side up. So once you do this, everything will come clear. And that's how it'll go. So I hope that was helpful. Let's see, I'll make sure. Shauna, in my defense, you're such a smart ass, Shauna. In my defense, the car now drives itself. Dude. No. Okay. So that is it for our readings today. I do want to remind you and invite you to next week. We'll be right back in this kind of space in Substack now that I kind of know what I'm doing. And we will hope that the Mercury retrograde, although closer, will not be as cray-cray. And if it is, no, I will be there, but I might be a little late because I'm trying to troubleshoot. But I'm intending for everything to go well. On the 6th of November at lunchtime, I think we're going to do 12:30 maybe, I think is right. Let me check. Oh, before I tell you what's something wrong. Let's see. No, noon again, lunchtime again. Next week on Thursday, join me here for the 2026 New Year's reading for the collective. I will be doing a 14-card pull with 3 decks. It'll be for the collective, but this is the reading that I open up from today for VIPs through the end of the year. And also and I'll get to how to sign up for one in a minute. But basically I do your year, and what we do is we pull a hero's journey card, and we have a low flying helicopter to talk about the energy of your point in your journey for the year. Then we do an animal card to see what the animal medicine is for that. And then we do 12 angel tarots, one for each month for the energy of each month, and kind of create a picture of what your year will look like. So that'll be the for private readings. I will do the same reading but on a collective level on Thursday of next week when I do this and I go live in Substack. And I will then open things up right, I think the day after that or the day of that, I open up my calendar to everybody to go ahead and book their private reading with me if they want to do that. Between now and then, anyone who has been a client in the past year, a reading client, a coaching client, part of my Moon Circle group, anybody that has been or had their 2025 reading last year, all those people go into an email list, and those people are VIPs, and you guys get your pick in the pre-sale of what day on the calendar. So I have a couple Saturdays open. So if you're a VIP, you get the pick of the best dates first. So I already have people claiming their spots. Make sure you remember to go and do that. Check your emails because there are emails going out right now for VIPs. And then the day after I finish the collective reading, my calendar opens up to everybody, and you can grab your spot no matter who you are. And I look forward to seeing you guys. And I'm just trying to make sure I get through all my notes here. Yep. Okay. Now, if you want a reminder for next week's collective reading, just make sure you subscribe to my Substack. You can do that for free. But there are also paid levels for extra goodies throughout the year. And then, let's see, anything else? Nope, I think that's it. So I want to say thank you so much for joining me today. Again, if you were here and you didn't get to ask a question, if you listened in and you resonated with messages, those were for you. And I always say that because we need to tap into our intuitive right now. There's so much going on in the 3D, and we need to stay grounded in our own selves and what we need, and where our freedom and sovereignty comes from is within ourselves and our own choices and how we want to choose to do things. So I hope you choose to join me next week. Thank you for this connection with Spirit today. It was an honor to share this space with you, and have a great Samhain, a great Halloween, and I will see you guys next week or on Substack, because if you're on here, my Moon Note stuff should be going out. A retrograde post is coming up. So make sure you're subscribed. And then I'll see you next week. But until then, I will see you in the vortex. Love you so much. Bye, y'all. See you soon.